Hello guys, if you like my awesome gaming videos, my programming and web development courses, my editing courses and editing videos, and my tech talks and tech guidance, then you can consider subscribing to my channel and click on this bell icon to stay connected with me all the time. Hello guys, welcome to my channel. So this video is very special for many of you, especially who wants to implement the search feature on MERN stack project, especially with the Nodejs and then MongoDB backend, and how to implement it on the React, Redux, and with the RTK query. Normally I have used Redux Toolkit and RTK query here in this project to implement, because this is the latest thing that Redux offer, and it is a really beautiful thing. And if you learn this, you will understand a lot of concept and make your own paginations and do a lot of work. Normally pagination is very hectic, so that's why many people don't try to understand what is going on, but basically it just make sure that it doesn't fetch all of your data. Like in our application, I have these are the videos that I have. Okay, so it can be thousands of videos, so I don't want all those videos to come into this application or in this web page, in the first page, because this will really messed up the database, and I don't want to have all the videos at once. So that's why when we want to make our database more efficient, I want suppose 60 videos in one page, and when I click on next button, it will give me more 60 videos. Okay, and when I click on previous button like this, it will give us the 60 videos, and if we click on next videos and next page, and it will give us more 60 videos. Okay, or if you want 100 videos in each page, you can parse it, because I want to make this database just request efficient. I don't want every single information like millions of videos or millions of data. I just want 60, 70 or 8 of them in each page. So how can we make this pagination work properly? So that's why you need to understand what's going on here. Suppose I have two buttons, one is previous and one is next. If we click on previous, as you can see, it is disabled. So this is the thing that we're going to implement here. When I click on disabled, if we click on previous, I can't go back because it's the first page, I cannot go back. If I click on next, it will go to the next page. If you have more information, you can also go to the next, but the next button is disabled because there is no other videos left, only 8 videos or 6 videos. So we're going to implement it into our another project, which is all blogs. If we go to all blogs, this is another part of our application. As you can see in this project, we have add videos and add blogs to informations, okay, and wishlist. But I have already added the information for the videos. Now this is the thing for the blogs. I want suppose 3 blogs in each page. This is the page all blogs where I want to implement this pagination. So for that, we need to really understand what the backend information is coming. We need to work with the backend first, then I'm going to implement with Redux RTK query and implement it properly in the professional way, and what is the best way possible there. And if I go to our backend and in the controllers, and you need to go to the block controller. Here you need to just make these functions properly. Here suppose get paginated blocks. Okay, so you can copy one of the functions here. Just very simple, and I have all the documentation for it as well in this application. This is my another project where I just include all the blogs that is needed to make this tutorial. Okay, and this is the documentation that you have, and this is actually the pagination inside React project with Nodejs, MongoDB backend for beginners especially. And I will guide you through whatever you need, and you will get the code after this video as well, and I will give the link in the description obviously. And this should be get paginated blogs. Get paginated blogs, and here for the paginated blog, I want the page information. I want the page, and that is coming from request.query. Now how this information come? Request.query. So you need to check that. So it should be like if all blogs slash question type, and just write page is equals to 1. It means that give me all the informations in the page 1. In the page 1, I want 3 blog information, only 3 cards. Like I want this card, and this card. If I have thousands of cards, I just need 3 cards in my page number 1. If I click on next, it should go to page number 2, and so far so forth, and just go to 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, so this is how the paginations work. So you need to write question sign page, and this is the thing we need to get from our backend. See, very simple. So this is the information we are getting from the React request.query parameters. Okay, very simple stuff. And then we need to just instead of this, just remove everything. Here we need to just write const limit, And normally I just keep it simple, 5 blocks in each page, or you can give it much better. But for testing purpose, I will add 3 blocks in each page, okay, 3 of them, because I have only 4, so that I can test it. Okay, so this can be constant, or you can get it from the user input as well. But in the backend code, I just make it simple and static. Okay, so this is the limit. Then we have const start index. I will let you know what does that mean. Okay, so for that you need to go to the number, and this checks that the value that is coming from this URL or page information, like page number 1 and page number 2. Suppose here page number 1, it should be integer. Okay, page number 1 or 2 or 3, these are all integers thing, so that's why I need to convert it into number, and that's why we need that. And here we need to go to the page and page -1. Just make sure you would just add one more parenthesis here, -1 times limit. Okay, and then we need to calculate const total is equals to data we have inside the database. Okay, so for that we need to go to blog.count. It should be count documents. Okay, so count documents actually gives me all the information in the count variable. Suppose I have total 4 blocks here, so that's why we get 4. Okay, so if there is 100 blocks, we get in the total variable, we're gonna get the output as 100. Okay, and this is the start index. So let me show you what does that mean. So suppose I want some information. Suppose here are all the blocks that I'm gonna get. Await blog.find. You will understand it very shortly. What does that mean? Here we need to sort our data. You can just leave it blank or just sort it. It's up to you. It will sort it by its underscore ID and descending order. Okay, -1 means it will be sort using the descending order. And here we need to put limit. Give me 3 blocks in each page. It means that 3 information in each page. And that's why it says limit 3, or you can just put dynamic value like this. This is the limit that we have, limit. And we need one more parameter, which is skip. You need to skip some information, and suppose you are currently on page 3, so that's why you need to skip the information of page 1 and 2. So that's why we need that variable. Okay, so skip start index. Now what does that mean? So let me go to our paint application. Suppose we have limit number 3. Okay, so total page number 1 will have 3 information, page number 2 we have 6 information. So suppose this is the page number 1, this is the page number 1, suppose 1p, and another page which is 2p. Okay, this is the page number 2. So page number 1, I want something here, just give it green. Page number 1 we have 3 blocks. Okay, 3 blocks. Page number 2 we have more 3 blocks, or if you in real life application, it should be like 50 or 100 blocks in each page. Okay, so in that case it is like that, but here I have set the limit to 3. So page number 1 will contain 3 blocks. Here page number 1 will have 3 blocks, and if you click on next, it will give you other 3 information, suppose. So in that case, what should be the rule here? Why we need the start index? So it means, suppose you are page number 3, you need to skip, you need to negate those information, this page number 1 information and 2 information. So if we add those things, it should give us total 6 information or 6 blocks in page number 1 and page number 2 combined. So total we are getting 6 blocks. Okay, here it can be blogs, posts, videos as well. It can be for anything. Okay, so with these are the 6 information I want to skip. I want to get the information what page number 3 contains. So this is what I'm interested in. So that's why in just total we have 3 and page number 3 will contain more 3, which is 9. Total is 9. So these are the information we need. We need to skip this part. We don't need this. We need this information, only 3. So what does that mean? Page number, suppose we are page number of 3. Okay, page number of 3 -1, it means we are skipping the first 2 page. Where, okay, first 2 page contains 6 blocks times its limit. limit is 3, so 3 times 2 is equals to 6. So total first six blocks we are skipping for the page number 3. Okay, if I go to the page number of 4, suppose this now we are into page number of 4, so it will skip the first 9 information, because in each page we have 3 information, as you can see. So total we are skipping the 4 minus 1, which is page number 4 minus 1, which is 3. So each page times its limit, which is each page contains 3 blocks, so total 9 blocks we need to skip. So give me the next information, which is 10, 11 and 12. Okay, so that's why we need that skip. We need that skip, because if I go to the page 4, I need to skip what are the information page 1, 2 and 3 contains. If I go to the page 5, I need to skip all the information that the page 1, 2, 3, 4 contains. So that's why you need to have a nice little formula. Just go to the number of page minus 1 times its limit. Just skip those informations or those videos or those blocks. So that's why we need that, because we don't do, if I go to the page number 4, I don't want those previous 3 pages information. Okay, so that's why we need that. Now you can just return a response. Here you can write response dot status of 200.json, and here in the data variable you can go to the blogs. These are the blogs you need, and we need current page. So current page should be number of page that you are currently in. So this is the thing that would be coming from our query parameters from our URL, and this is the current page, and make sure you convert it into numbers, otherwise there would be a big problem. Okay, so the current page should be the number of the current page that you are in, and you need one more information, which is number of pages. So what does that thing, what does that do? Before that you need to math.ceil. It will give me the information like, if you have 2.4, it means that it is equals to 3, because you are taking ceil. If it is math.floor, it should be 2.4 is actually 2. Okay, so we need that information. If it is 2.4, we should consider it into 3. Okay, so make sure it is integer or it is round figure. So that's why we need math.ceil. Okay, and it takes parameters number, and which should be total. It means that the total objects that I have in our blogs database or blog database, total objects divided by limit. Okay, limit, and this limit is that, suppose we have total 6 blogs, okay, divided by limit, which is 3. It means that number of pages is actually 2. If I have 4 blogs and I just divided, each page contains 3 information, then total I have 1.33. So it means that I need 2 pages. Okay, so this is very simple calculations. So number of pages, how many pages we need, and this will give us the number of pages that we have. Okay, so you'll understand a lot. So these are the 3 things very important. First is the limit, and based on this limit your page size will be different. If you have total, suppose 10 information, and each page holds 2 information, so total we need 10 divided by 2, which is 5 pages. So based on your limit, your page number will be different. Make sure you put error message, error dot message. Okay, so get paginated blogs, we get the page number from the URL, and then we are sending this information as a data parameter, current page, which should be the current page that we are in, and number of pages that we are in. Okay, so in the front end we just need to increment this page number one by one. First is 1, then 2, then 3 and 4 on our button click. Just like in the previous demo you have seen, when you click on those buttons, it should increase up to the number of pages that we have. That's why we also need the number of pages, because in each click we need to increase this number of pages count. Okay, so first page, second page, third page, it should, if I click on those buttons, it should increase side by side. Okay, so this thing will very important. Just make sure that you would just import that. Here you need to suppose get blogs. Get, here you need to write get paginated blogs. Okay, get paginated blogs, and you need to change your URL as well. So in the routes, you need to go to blogs route, and here you just write get paginated blogs. Okay, here you just write router dot get, and here paginated blogs. Paginated blogs, just name it paginated blogs, and get paginated blogs. Okay, so as you can see, we have imported that get paginated blog from our blog controller, and if we go to this URL, this should work. Okay, so paginated blogs, let me copy this thing. So this is very important. Postman will help you to check your APIs properly. So API slash this should be blogs, that this paginated blogs, and just give it page number 1. So let's check it out. Make sure everything is fine, and here you just send this request. Okay, we got it. Suppose this is ID number 1, this is ID number 2 and 3. So this is another blog, and this is another blog, and this is another blog. So we have number of pages is actually 2, because we have only 4 information. Each page contains 3, so we need to go to the second page as well. So that's why we have number of pages is actually 2, and we are currently on page number 1. If I change it to page number 2, suppose we get only 1 information, because in the second page, as you can see, we are on the current page number 2, where we are getting this data. Okay, my first block, because we have sorted this out, so this should be descending order. So my first block would go to the last page. So this is the data that we are having. This is the shape of the data, that where you get all the blocks. Then we have one more property for current page. As you can see, we are in the current page number 2, and we are number of pages that we have is actually 2. Okay, so this is very important. So this, our backend is working perfectly with the testing as well. Now it's time to work with the client side. And with the client side, you need to work with the features. You need to go to our blogs and go to blogs API. Here you can implement that as well. And here for this is for the single blog, this is to get all the blogs, and this is to get paginated blogs. Okay, you can copy these stuffs and paste it, and it's just give it fetch paginated blogs. So these are the RTK query part. If you don't understand, as you can see, root API index inject endpoints, and in the endpoints we have all the queries, like to go to the blogs and get all the blogs, go to the single blog by its ID and get it and add it. As you can see, these are all the backend URL where you need to hit, okay, and the post method and give out the data. Okay, so these are all the APIs that RTK query having. As you can see, the blogs API, which is very simple and neat and clean, how you do all of those stuffs. All if your API endpoints would be stored inside here, and this RTK query part is super powerful. Once you use it, you're gonna love this thing. And here we need, in the query parameters, we need page number, which page number we are in. So it should go to /blog/ let me go to our API and let's check. It should go to blogs/ so these are the part we need, and blogs/ paginated blogs, and page, it should be backtick. Make sure it is backtick so that you can put some dynamic content, and this should hold the page number. Suppose in the beginning we'll have the page number 1, then if we click on next button, it should go to page number 2, 3, and much more. And based on this page number, okay, based on this page number, we'll call this thing, okay, fetch paginated blocks. Okay, now one more information we need to create a component so that it works properly. In the component, in the UI, I have already created a pagination box, but here I'm gonna create one more for the blogs. Okay, so let me check, and here we have pagination blog box. Okay, pagination for the blog box.jsx, and here I can just copy this UI we need, and RFCE to integrate it, and just remove it. Okay, just make it simple and make it easy for the people. Okay, just remove it. And so beginning, we don't need to have disabled feature. So the on click, we need to click something and do some work. Okay, so we need these two buttons, very simple button. One is previous button, one is next button. And we need to have two information at the props. If you understand React properly, it will have some information like current page and number of pages. Okay, so first we have two buttons here. This is the component that we need, and then we need to go to our blog section and need to go to the blog list where we'll have all the information. As you can see, this RTK query is so simple. Just call this one line and get this all the data in the blogs and just map through these things, and it will work just fine without any issues as well. And here you need to have this component inside this section. Inside this section, I'm gonna call it pagination. Pagination blog box. Okay, so let me check it is working or not. Yeah, it is working, but when you click on this, nothing will work. Okay, make sure that. So when you click on this, nothing will work. Our UI is just finished. When you click on these buttons, something will happen. Okay, so we need that current page so that we can increase it by 1 or decrease it by 1. So this is the mentality, this is the functionality we want. So before that, we need to go to our blog list, and here we have to call one more thing, which is const data would be coming from use page paginated. Let me go to the features and go to blogs and blogs API. We need to export that function. Use fetch paginated blogs query. So these are the thing that we need. Okay, so here you need to call const data. These are also blogs paginated. That will be coming from use fetch paginated blogs query, and this blogs query takes one parameter. If I go to blogs API, it wants, suppose, the page number, which page number information we want. Okay, so this is the thing we need, and here you need to give the page number. Suppose page number is, suppose 1 in the beginning. I just call it, this is just a simple thing, just add this thing. Okay, so that it works. So we get the blogs paginated here, paginated blogs. Just here I need to console.log. You can console.log paginated blogs, just to see whatever information we get at line number 20. So let me check. So line number 20, as you can see, line number 20, we get the current page 1 because we're in the page 1. We get the data, all the responses of the blogs. As you can see, we get the blogs information as an array, and number of pages. Currently we have number of pages is 2. That is coming properly. If we go to the network request, as you can see, paginated blog / page 1. Okay, in the page 1 we are getting all these headers and responses. And if we see the preview of the data, we have current page 1. As you can see, we're in the page number 1, and number of pages total we have 2, and these are the data property. We have all this data. So we in the data property we are having all those data. Okay, so what can we do? We're going to go to the paginated blogs. Here we need to so this is the normal return. So if there is search, it should, this block will work, but this block will give us every information. So this is the part where we need the pagination. Here we need paginated blogs, and we need to check if it has some data, because this data property that is coming from the paginated blog object has all the blogs information as an array of object. Okay, so we need to go to its field called data and then map each block and give us all the blogs. So here in the beginning, as you can see, we get only 3 information, only 3 datas, because we have one more page, because in each page we want only 3 information. That's why it's like that. So if I change it to, suppose, page number of 2, suppose, so let me check what it does. It gives us information that is on the second page. As you can see, it gives us information that is coming inside the second page. So just change it to 1. So these are the thing that is variable. We need to change it. So the problem is, this is a component of blog list component, but we are changing this number, this page number count, from our pagination blog box. So how we communicate with these two things? We need to do something, right? So in the blog list, I get not only get blogs, I get the other data as well. So what data is current page and number of pages and current page. So these are the two information that we have to pass inside this. So our current page should be coming from our paginated blogs dot current page, and this information is coming from backend, definitely from backend. If you just see this code, blog control, as you can see, this is coming, all the response is coming from the backend. Current page is actually the which page we are in, and number of pages is total pages we have, and based on this our information. So these are in this response is coming from the backend. So these are the information. Paginated blogs, it has a current page information, and we are holding it inside these props, and we need to pass it into this component so that we can work with it. And we need number of blogs. Okay, so it should be number of blogs, and this should also come from this thing. It should be go to the paginated blogs dot number of blogs. Okay, and this is also coming from this thing, number of, I think it should be number of pages. Okay, so first one is current page. First one is the current page. This is the information we need, and we also need number of pages that would be stored inside number of pages. Just give it them same name, and we need to just go to our pagination box, and here we have to pass those information. Number of pages, just keep it uppercase, number of pages. So these are the two props we need, and here you can console.log this out. If you want to just debug it, number of pages, so that's perfect. As you can see, page number, this is the current page and this is the number of page. So we get this pagination component, we also get this information. Now here we need to click on some button, and we need to increase the current page number one by one. Okay, so for that you need to use Redux Toolkit, because this is another component and blog list is another component. We need to pass this page number dynamically into this API, use face blogs query, because it takes just parameter page number, which page number I want. So we can't pass this static information. We need to give this facility to the user who actually clicking on this button and having this data. Okay, so for that information, to make it dynamic, we need to use Redux Toolkit. For Redux Toolkit, you should go to the block slice, and in the block slice here we can just write change page number. Okay, so change page number, it will go to the state and action. This is another thing. So these are all the functionality. For the search, we can add these actions. For clear blog, we can call these actions, and to change the page number, when we click on this button, we need to do that. So for that, we need to have one more information in the state, which is page number, suppose, and currently it should be by default 1. Okay, so we should be stored in the page number 1 in the beginning. When you load our website, we should have stored all the information in the page 1, so it should have the page 1. Okay, so in the default and the page number. So if we need to go to the state.page number, and that is coming from our action.payload. This means when a user clicks on this next button, it should give us the page number of 2, and it should be stored inside this into this state. Okay, so that's why it will increase, suppose 2, and when a user clicks another button, it should be give us the information from the page 3 if it has. Okay, so based on this user clicks, it should increase, and this information, this page number, it should be used inside our blog list, so where we rendered all of our information. Okay, so that's why we need to have this Redux Toolkit information. Okay, Redux Toolkit. So if I go to the block slice, we need to export that. So we need to change page number. Okay, so we need to use this thing. And if we go to the blog list component, and here instead of this I need to use one, just comment it out. And here you will need to have a const data would be coming from use selector, and use selector have a state, and data should be coming from state.blogs. Okay, that data is coming from the state.blogs. If I go to our app store.js, as you can see, this is the slice that we have. I have already registered the blog slice into our Redux Toolkit application. There are a lot of things in this project, like comments. I have added this for authentication, for blogs, for blog comments, for profiles, for wishlist, all of those things. But we are just working on these blogs. Okay, so we need to get that information state.blogs, and here we need to get the page number. Okay, in the page number, and if I go to the blog slice, so this is the page number we are getting from our state. So if I go to our store.js, when you hover over the blogs, as you can see, we have two information, which is page number and blog search. Here we just need one state, which is page number. So when you click on this button, the page, this page number would be stored like page number of 2. Give me the all. When you click on this next, it should go to the page number of 2, and that should be stored inside this storage, which is store of Redux store, Redux Toolkit store actually, called page number, and this information would be stored here. Okay, so before that I need to make sure it is a number, so it should contain page number, and in the beginning it is 1. Okay, so it should have it should give us all the information. So it is perfectly done, there's no issues whatsoever. So what is the problem? If I have some problem there, here we are getting all those data, so it is perfect, and we are passing all this number of pages and current page information. Now we can easily work with this. Here we need to use dispatch. Dispatch is equal to use dispatch. So why we need dispatch? When you click on this button, on click, this should be arrow function, and this should be increase page number. Okay, and the current page should hold the current page we are in. Suppose we are in the page number 1, we want to go to the page number 2, then to click on next button, it should go to the current page plus 1. Okay, so this is the function we need to create. So actually this is the previous button, so you can just copy this thing, and we are working on the next button. Okay, so you can remove this. So in the beginning we are working on the increase page button. It should be if you name it increment page number, it should be better function name. So here you just const increment page number, and let me comment it out so that you can understand it better. Increment page count. Okay, so it takes one more page, which is current page. You just rename it to current page, or you can name it page current. Okay, make sure you have a different name here. It is normally a good practice, because this name is actually this one. This current page is actually this current page, because we are in the page number 1. When you click on this button, this next button, it should increase. So how it increase? It takes one more parameter, and here you need to increase. Here I can call dispatch and change current page or change page number. As you can see, from it is coming from the block slice. So this is the actions that we need to dispatch. Change page number, and here you need to give your information, which page number we want to change. Suppose we want to change the page current and plus 1, because suppose we are in the page 1, when you click on this button, it should go to the page 1 plus 1. It should go to the page number 2. Very simple math. Okay, so when you click on this, it should dispatch to change page number, and it will just increase by 1. Very simple code there. And in this is for the increment. So when we can increment, if there is some information, so that's why I need to check if this should be number. We need to check everything using the number here. If page current, if the current page number is smaller, then we need to again check it by number, because everything, this current page or page number should have to be a number value. Okay, so we need to check that out. So if it is smaller than like number of pages, it should be number of pages. So that's why we need to check that condition. That's why we need two value. One is current page, which should be increment by 1, and another thing which is called number of pages, because how many times we can increment the page count. It should have a limit. If the current page is equals to 1 and we have suppose 3 pages, then we can go to page number 2 and 3. If there is only 2 pages, I cannot go to page number 3. It is not logical. Okay, so we can go to page number of pages. Suppose I have 50 pages. Okay, so and your page number is suppose page number 2, then you can go to 3, 4, 5, 6 up to 50, whichever you want. Otherwise you can't go. So if the current page is that, then you can dispatch or increment this. So this is the most cleanest code possible. And the same way for the decrement. Here we need to decrement the page count. Here you need to write decrement. Okay, decrement page count. And here you can pass this thing. Just copy this, paste, and here decrement page number. And this function checks one more thing, and this should be negative. This should be -1, because we have to go to the previous page. So we in this thing we need to check one more thing. If the page current is equals to 1, if the page number or the current page number is equals to 1, then you can't go back. Okay, then you can't go back, else you can dispatch this. Here you can put alert. You are on page 1, you can't go back, because you are actually page number 1 and it is starting from the page number 1. Otherwise you can go to previous page. Okay, and here when the user clicks on decrement button, and it should take the current page, and it should decrement by 1. Okay, this information should be decrement by 1, and this thing should work properly. Let me check if it is working or not. Okay, beautiful. We are on this is where we are, page number 1. If I go to the network resources and just refresh everything. Okay, so normally we are in the page number 1. If we click on next, it is giving us the information that is coming from the page number 2. So this is the best optimization possible using the React, RTK query, and Redux Toolkit with the Nodejs and MongoDB. So 5 technologies in one video. This is insane, guys. I think this will make you really knowledgeable about the pagination, and you can implement it in thousands and thousands of websites in your way. But this is a lot of stuffs going on. That's why I need to make a tutorial on it. There are a lot of steps. First steps is to create the backend, then to create the API in the RTK query. These are the API where we need to write RTK query, like builder.query, and in the query you have to pass the parameters, which page number information you need, and you write your backend like this. This is the API endpoints. And for make it dynamic, suppose when I click on page number 1, 2, or 3, you need to hold the state so that I can hold the state properly. And in the action.payload, when I click on this thing, I can increment this, I can decrement this page number very easily. And this is the information we need inside the step 5. As you can see from the use selector, state.blocks, we need to get that. And that's how we are. This is the information we need to pass into the RTK query API page number. That suppose we are on the page number 1, give me the page number 1 information. If I am page number 2, give me the page number 2 information. If I'm page number 3, give me the page number 3 information. Very simple, and render this into the UI. So you'll get the code very simply and very easily. At least it works perfectly without any issues. As you can see, it is now very modern and beautiful and more optimized, and it will save you a lot of database hassles, because you are not getting everything, you are just getting information by slicing. Okay, page 1, 2, and 3. So this is a beautiful thing. So if I just change it to backend code to suppose one more thing which is very important to understand, which is 2. Now I have like 4 information, or let me check it out and refresh this. In one page, I am getting 2 information. As you can see, 2 information, because I have changed the limit to 2. Now I change the limit to 3 because I want 3 information in each block, and it should work just fine. As you can see, 3 information in each block. If you want to check the Redux toolkit for this, I have this Redux panel as well. If I just click on next, as you can see, we have changed the page number, and change the page number, it will change the block page number. As you can see, we're inside the page number 2 because we have incremented by 1. Okay, and if I go to previous, as you can see, like change previous, you change page number, it is going to the page number 1, but you can't go back because I have added a logic so that you can't go back. You are already on the page number 1. Just make it disable button. So how can we do disabled feature on the previous? In the previous page, we need to have a disabled feature. So how can we implement that? Here we must have to check if it is a number, if the current page number is equals to 1. Okay, if the current page is actually page number 1, then you can't go back. Okay, so make it disabled. As you can see, it is disabled, and I have also added this disabled BG gray 200 in the tailwind. So it is not, as we are in the page number 1, it is disabled. If I go to that page number 2, now as you can see, it is active. So this is another amazing features. So one more thing, we need to have one more disable for the next button. This is for the next button, and we need to check the current page number, which is page number suppose 2 is equals to the number of pages. Suppose total number of pages is 3, and we are currently on the page number 3. So that's how we cannot go beyond 3. So this is the limit, and we will disable this button if this happens. Okay. So if I go to next, as you can see, you cannot go next because you are already on the page number 2, and this is the last page that we have. The number of pages total is actually 2. If we go to the previous, you cannot go back because you are on the first page. So this is the logic that you have to know if we want to really understand the paginations inside this MERN stack modern projects. Okay, so this is the thing that is super powerful and super useful for many projects, and let's see how powerful and efficient it is. So it is very beautiful project. So if we go to the video section as well, I have this thing. As you can see, it works just like a charm without any issues. Okay, so these are we are already currently working on it. So I hope you understand a lot of things about it. If you don't understand a lot, just try to understand this JavaScript logic building with map, filter, reduce and includes and the arrays, and also learn the RTK query manual cache update for React projects. This would be the ultimate performance. This will give you the ultimate performance in your applications. And also learn the MERN stack search feature, how you implement search feature with RTK query Redux toolkit, and implement it on your MERN stack project with the backend as Nodejs and MongoDB. And also I have added the search. Now I am making this video for the paginations, and I have also made the very hard video, which is manual cache update, which really worked really hard, and logic building and CRUD operation using the RTK queries. If you understand these 4 or 5 videos properly, I think RTK query Redux toolkit would be really easy and better for you. Okay, I hope you understand a lot of things. Till then, take care, bye bye. I'll see you in the next video with more awesome and modern and beautiful content in the near future. Till then, take care, bye bye.